so he needs to do his best to get on these victory points right away. Let's take a look at our resources. You can see the income as far as Rec is pretty much even, but Phoenix obviously way ahead on the power. She could probably just not even earn any more power for the game. And I say she because of the Farseer, of course. I do not actually know whether Phoenix is male or female. Not familiar with the player, unfortunately. Meanwhile, the Banshee's going ahead and knocking off this Wreck. Both the Banshees and Farseers knocking off both of these fully matured requisition points. That's going to put a nice dent of about 60 requisition against Moostafa's current income. Always good to get those rear rec points as opposed to the generally contested ones. There aren't any really central contested rec points on this map, of course, so you really want to try to get back there and knock out those rec in the back. Meanwhile, we're having a bit of a duel here. The Chaos has the icon of Corn, so he's going to be healing a little bit for every attack. The Farseer has their buffs, but it wasn't quite enough to keep up with him, and it's a good thing she got out when she did, because Mostafa was waiting for her with a squad of heretics behind in her retreat path. You can see a shield is up protecting these warp spiders, and another one up in front of the power, so really trying to make sure he's got some good ranged cover support there. And Mostafa in a bit of a bad position as far as map control. All his power's been destroyed, his Wreck has been decapped, and he's at a pretty hard victory point disadvantage right now as well. So he needs to do something to get himself back onto the map and into this game. Oh, the very high DPS of those two Sinch Chaos Marines dropping a couple Warp Spires immediately in the first couple salvos. Unlike normal tactical Marines who only get one Plasma Bolter, all of the Chaos Marines will get Inferno Bolters with the Sinch upgrade, so that really makes a pretty large difference in their DPS. Meanwhile, we're having a melee brawl here, and another blood sacrifice for those Bloodletters. The Banshees could have pursued to try to finish off that Heretic squad, but did not want to risk it with the Bloodletters in tow. Turning around to face these Bloodletters, but there's a lot coming in. Not sure why he did that. Those Bloodletters are, of course, from blood sacrifice, so they will extinguish themselves and return to the warp like that as soon as their energy drops back to zero. He could have saved those Banshees from taking those model losses and just fled from the Bloodletters for a little while. Probably has the BP advantage. Really wouldn't have hurt much from the map loss there, but not a major blunder. Oh no, the Farseer does fall, looks like, to the Sinch Marine. She was trying to capture that point and did not make it out. Didn't even get the decap, it looks like, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Phoenix is moving on up to Tier 3. Probably going to tech right into an Avatar, maybe a Fire Prison at this point. We'll see what comes. Hopefully he's watching these Guardians. In the midst of a pile of... And it looks like the Inferno Bolters are going to get behind them. They are in trouble. Not sure. Nope, 1, 2, 3. There they go. That is the full Guardian squad. These Sinch Marines just got 2 melee kills. One on the Farseer and another on this Guardian squad. PhoenixLight in a bit of a worse position now. Now having only the Banshees and the Warp Spiders as active squads. The Shuriken as well, I'm sorry. Guardian that back point, but not really an active moving around so much and getting map control with that. The Banshees again attacking these Sinch Marines, but the supporting fire of their twin squad there and the incoming looming threat of the Chaos Lord is going to scare them right out of there. He pulled out while only losing one of his members, so not a big deal there. He's got time, he can regroup his forces and bring it back together. Meanwhile, the Farseer has gotten back up and been repurchased. Fully decked out, of course. And the Chaos Lord in the meantime has gotten himself Lightning Claws. So, gives him the Destructive Strike ability, which is another AoE strike. And does some pretty significant damage to infantry and heavy infantry alike. Mostafa has opted to get himself a squad of Plague Marines. I'm not exactly sure why that is. but possibly expecting either a tier 3 Altar, or I'm sorry, Avatar or Fire Prism there. You can see pretty standard engagement. Farseer dropped a Mind War there to try to lower the HP of some of these attacks, and meanwhile the Banshees are moving in. Probably going to have to get out of there again. The combined power, at this point, both of them are level 2, and with all of their upgrades, the melee and range damage that they both have is pretty solid, so one squad of Banshees just can't handle that. The Plague Marines are sneaking right in on this Bright Lance Cannon. You can see Phoenix is desperately trying to get that up, but isn't going to be able to get it off there. He has to retreat, and oh, instead of the standard Avatar that we expected, the Seer Council was called in and is now scaring those Siege Marines right out of there. The Seer Council, obviously unique to the Farseer, a squad of Warlocks that are very powerful in melee. Meanwhile, it looks like the Farseer is trying to take on these Plague Marines, waiting for the support of her Banshee sisters. Another Mind War going off, doing either full or close to full. I'm not sure, I'll have to check on that damage on retreat Mind War, so it's really an excellent choice to use when people always, you know, hold their heroes or hold that squad in for a little bit longer than they should. You can really pop that last 100 or 200 damage off very quickly on a retreating squad and get the squad or hero kill. Meanwhile, the Seer Council is roaming around unopposed, taking some mat back. The Warp Spiders and Farseer are moving in conjunction with the Shuriken Cannon, going to chase off that Chaos Lord who really can't handle that on his own. The Seer Council hiding behind the safety of this energy shield, and then deciding, after a quick sprint, deciding that it would be better to just let that go. They are powerful, but not powerful to handle 4 squads on their own. The Warp Spider is really excellent at dealing with this Chaos Lord. Their range, burst, DPS, and maneuverability make it so his big, slow, lumbering self is pretty unable to deal with them when it comes down to it. Again, the Banshees moving in, suppressing and falling back, always seeming to find themselves by themselves when they encounter these dual Siege Marine squads here and having to fall back. The Seer Council, however, will probably make a bit of a better impact on this right here, but I think even with these 3 squads, the Seer Council is going to have to be careful. The Farseer is on the field now, possibly going to be firing some buffs, Fortune and Guide both available to deal. That's really the beauty of the Seer Council, is that by itself, on its own, not necessarily a super impressive tier 3 squad. It does great damage and has quite a bit of durability, of course, but it's really with the Farseer that they shine. Her array of buffs and debuffs on the enemy really bring that unit together. Oh, there goes one of the Siege Marine squads. Combine that with the loss of the heretics up here against the Seer Council, and that's not working out too well for Moostafa. He probably could have pulled one or both of those squads out a bit earlier. I know he's down to very few victory points, but he had had both of these at the time. Probably didn't need to lose both of those squads for the sake of map control. We can see Phoenix not waiting for these to heal up all the way. The Seer Council moving right back out. And a second Warp Spider squad being purchased. So really at this point he's going for the quick maneuverable units, going to make sure he can get a few victory points and knock the rest of this game on out of there. Again, we see Mind War on the Chaos Lord. He's getting some heal, but he's not going to be able to deal with all these Banshees on his own. He needs something else, and a great kill of the week, knocking those Banshees all down, getting himself a nice chunk of health back there, but he does need to get out of there. You can see a buff being called in by the Farseer on those Banshees. They're going to have to get out of there. Looks like they might catch up with him. He's very low. Needs to get one more shot. Oh, a couple Banshees fall. Oh, and the leading Banshee fell down as well. They got the suppression yell in there and decided to fall back. Those Siege Marines narrowly saving the Chaos Lord's life by dropping a couple of those Banshee models. While the Warp Spiders and Shuriken platform have moved back onto the field. And the Farseer, it looks like this might be it for Moostafa. He has mere seconds to get back these victory points. 2 squads of Plague Marines not working out for him. They are very durable, of course, but they don't do much in the way of anti-infantry damage. Now Moostafa getting himself a Chaos Dreadnought. The Warlock's firing off some ranged attacks there. And meanwhile, the Farseer now moving in another blood sacrifice on that Plague Marine. There he goes. And here come the Blood Letters. An excellent special attack by the Farseer, and the Seer Council is going to go ahead and get out of there. Meanwhile, Moostafa is just having his Chaos Techs try their damnedest to capture this victory point. It's down to a couple points. It looks like he is going to get it back. That Chaos Lord just annihilated that Shuriken platform of Phoenixes, and he is doing a good job of keeping himself in the game. You can see the Banshees. Looks like he's fortified this top victory point as well with a Chaos Shrine, which spawned Blood Letters, and has Heretics and the last bit of some Plague Marines hanging out there as well. So he's gone ahead and gotten himself back into the game. You can see the Chaos Dreadnought is now also on the field. But it looks like the Farseer alone is scaring him off. Meanwhile, there's another push. The Warp Spiders look like they're going to be able to handle that shrine on their own. Farseer is still whacking away at this Dreadnought. I'm not sure if she's used both Fortune and Guide, but it looks like she's actually going to be able to take it down herself. Looks like another hit, and there it goes! The Farseer, now level 8, soloing a vanilla Chaos Dreadnought. Excellent work by the Farseer. She didn't even use the help of the Seer Council on that. And it looks like the superior forces of Phoenix at the moment was able to take back this point. As soon as that caps, that is going to be it for Moostafa. He was really hoping that Dreadnought was going to help him push back this victory point, but the Farseer decided that she would have nothing of it. That's the end of the game. Looks like Moostafa trying to prep in advance, maybe for either the Fire Prism or the Avatar, and really that did not work out for him because Phoenix instead chose to get himself a Seer Council. Really could have used anything other than those Plague Marines, I feel like. But that's the game. Some pretty good stuff. I loved seeing the Farseer solo that Chaos Dread, and that's just more proof of how powerful of the buffs and debuffs of what I would say the underused Farseer can be, soloing that Chaos Dreadnought there at the end of the game. At the beginning of the game, Mustafa's use of the Corn Worship was also very excellent indeed. So I hope you enjoyed the game. That's it for me. If you like the cast, feel free to stop by the channel or subscribe.